the Trevor Jackson Podcast.
So, the Atlanta police addressed Lil Baby disrespectfully last week. But before I get into that conversation, I want to talk about Cop City. And I want to know if y'all ever heard of that. Talk to me in the comment section. Have y'all ever heard of Cop City and what they're doing in Atlanta? So just a couple of years ago, I made myself aware about they're building a facility that's like 20,000 square feet so they can enhance police training for police nationwide in Atlanta. So they can have more just everything dealing with the police. They're building a multi-$100 million facility in Atlanta. And to me, my mind registers like, oh, it's crime down there. It's a lot of crime. And they get ready to clean the streets up. You got to think about it. They just picked Pee Wee Longway up. They was harassing Young Thug. YFN Lucci just got out. You know, now they talking about Lil Baby. They mentioning his name. Lil Durk was living down there at the time. I don't know if he got picked up or had charges down there. It's just that if they're going to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in the police force, in the training and all of that, in ATL, that means that you niggas on the street better tighten up, nigga. Tighten up.
This is a site where the police department is planning to build a training facility that in Atlanta is known as Cop City.
Cop City will never be built. That's it. Hey! Cop City will never be built. Cop City will never be built.
We don't want Cop City here, and we don't want it anywhere.
Thank you.
Atlanta police are now charging 23 people with domestic terrorism after what police call a coordinated attack.
It's not a cop city. This is for police officers, firefighters, emergency medical responders. This is for our safety.
After a shootout near Cop City left a protester dead and a Georgia State Patrol trooper wounded.
Your men well died for this.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
We will see.
Now, I'm going to speak about this from both sides. But before I speak about it, I want to know, what is y'all thoughts about that? Do y'all think that it's necessary? Do y'all think that it's in the best interest of the people, what they're doing? It ain't just about the rappers and stuff and athletes and all of that, because it's real crime going on down there. You seen the people in the video protesting. We don't want Cop City down here. But when somebody breaking your house with the pistol, do you want the cops to be able to come quick enough? You know, or when you get pulled over by the police, do you want them to be trained well? A lot of people look at police like they the enemies, you know what I'm saying? They ain't looking out for their best interest. If I get pulled over by the police, I'm going to act like he cool, he my homie. I ain't doing nothing illegal. I ain't arguing, I ain't tongue wrestling with you. What's popping? Let's handle the situation and keep it moving. Life goes on. I ain't stressing about nothing. But what do y'all think about this Cop City? Because I think that if you're doing anything wrong and you targeting anything, it's about to go digital down there in the ATL. Real spill.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence that was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw homicides and shootings, and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions, and you know who you are.
To call him a coward is gangster. To be a police officer and call somebody a coward. You know, they roasting Lil Buddy too. They said he was a Nickelodeon, you know what I mean, actor or something, that police officer. Everybody talking about his face is familiar. They remember him in a Nickelodeon video and all that type of stuff, or a show. But, you know, when I first saw that, I initially saw that, I was listening to his verbiage and the way he was presenting it, and he sounded angry. And a lot of the stuff that they doing in Atlanta is like foul. Fannie Willis or whatever, she done took L's on top of L's. And they targeting people because they don't like people. Like, you know, catch a person in the act. Don't go to the media and start talking bad about people before you catch them in the act. If I was a police, this is my perspective. This is how I'm thinking. And I want to think logically. I'm going to do like how they do in the country cities or whatever, like where I come from in Tennessee. They don't say nothing about you. They don't harass you or get nothing. They just get information. Then when they come easy and come get you, pick you up, and it's over. You know, what they doing in Atlanta with these rappers, it seemed like, you know how Black Buddy don't like Young Buddy. He hot right now and he getting all the money and he shining. He on the internet and he might have done poked somebody's daughter or auntie because it's all a community in Atlanta. And he just disliked this person. He don't want to see him continue to be successful, and we got to get him by any means necessary. It seemed like that with the Fannie Willis thing, because she was dating the peanut dude. The nut dude that, you know what I mean, Young Thug and them had something to, or supposedly, let me say allegedly, supposedly, anything to not incriminate myself because I don't want to be sued or none of that, but supposedly had something to do with the brother that Young Thug and them supposedly ended his life. That was a hate thing. You know, we got to take them down. They took somebody I love from me. It's just crazy to see that, because listening to that brother speak, he dislikes Lil Baby a lot. Called him cowardly. But to me, is it a crime though? You know, he shouldn't even have mentioned him shooting a music video in the ops neighborhood. Is it a crime though? Is that a crime to shoot a music video? You might have missed out on the opportunity, because if I'm Lil Baby, guess what I'm doing? I'm out of here, nigga. We'll never see the ATL 404 ever again. 678, I'm out of here. I gotta go. I communicate with my people from a distance, but I ain't gonna be at home, because if you look at it from a hip hop perspective, every time somebody lives at home or they stay at home, they get gone. Now I want to read Lil Baby's response that he put up on his Instagram story. Then I want to read his lawyer's response, and we're just gonna continue on with the podcast because we got some things to talk about. I'm ready to talk about this Trump stuff though, to be honest with you. So Lil Baby put on his Instagram story, "Thanks for all the concern. Please don't be misinformed by fake news. I'm overly good." That's good that he put that out there though. He should be good. He shouldn't be stressed about nothing, because at the end of the day, them people, man, in Atlanta ain't running the police right. They took an L to Trump. They was trying to get Trump out of there, saying that he did something with the votes in Georgia. Took an L to Thug. Took an L to YFN Lucci. They did some time, but they didn't do the time that they could have done if they was in Nashville, Missouri, Oklahoma, somewhere. It's just that police force down there, it ain't even. I'm gonna tell the young nigga something too before I go on to the lawyer's response. If you live anywhere else in the country, don't think that they're gonna make them same mistakes where you located at that they making in Atlanta, because it's not like that nationwide. This nigga's getting life sentences for something that they might not even done, and these dudes getting in and out, and it's blatant that they are in gang activity. It's blatant that they committing the crimes that they committing, but they coming home. But I just want to tell y'all, it's not like that nationwide, young nigga. Let's read Drew Finding, man, what he had to say. Lil Baby's attorney. releases a statement in response to the Atlanta Police Department claiming the rapper's cowardly acts caused 2 teenagers to be murdered. Before I get into that, though, because I didn't address the death, it's like I don't want to be one of those content creators that is just creating content and addressing the story, reading the story, talking about the story, and just don't acknowledge that the life was lost. Rest in peace to those 2 young brothers. Condolences to the family. And may y'all their killers be arrested and go to jail and be found guilty in a court of law. No matter what, taking a life is not something that should be accessible to me. You shouldn't get away with that. Taking a life, it's other things that could have been done. A lot of times people react with violence because they don't know how to communicate. And that happens a lot in the black community. You know, I want to say something before I read this too about the way I communicate on my platform and why it's so important for me to address this, because a lot of people, when they create content, they view it as if they're speaking to the people. I try my best not to speak to the people or towards the people, because that's how you create animosity. When I speak on my platform, I speak to the perspective because I think that's more valuable. Because some people can feel this way about it and some people can feel that way about it. But if I remain objective and keep the conversation neutral, because these things, you know, when you're creating podcasts, people can hold things to their heart. People can be passionate about things that the world don't care about, that people don't even care about. But let me read the rest of this, man, and keep it moving. The part of the press conference on Wednesday by the Atlanta Police Department that made an obvious reference to Dominique Jones was complete and total nonsense. To say that he couldn't shoot a music video in his hometown, a place that he loves and has contributed to uplift, is disgraceful. Even more, the location for a major music video shoot is a decision made by a professional team, and it is not a decision made by an individual. Bringing his name into a conversation regarding a terrible crime for which he had absolutely no involvement is unprofessional, unethical, and shameful. Dominique is devastated about the situation because those children came from the same neighborhood he did, and he will continue to build up his community in any way he can. You know, I feel, you know, I ain't even read that. I just created the graphics for it and everything and had it to read to the community, to the family on the show or whatever, though. But I felt the same way, though. You know, not taking Lil Baby's side and not shaming the police and not trying to be, you know what I mean? I'm just keeping it objective. But he should be able to shoot a music video. He might have known it was let's take it, say he known it was the ops hood and he was wrong. And people died behind it. That's something he's going to have to live with for the rest of his life. But is it a law behind that? And it's a law to be affiliated with a gang. How they going to use it? I feel as if, too, it could be something bigger behind this. Way bigger. But why would the police address it? Because they want the feds to pick it up? I don't have a clue. But at the end of the day, I feel as if, like, you know, Lil Baby, you need to get the hell on, nigga. You need to get on. And that lawyer you got, Drew Feinlein, he the truth. He represented Trump. He representing Lil Dirt. He represented a couple of people. He representing Lil Baby right now. He the truth. He's standing on business. Them lawyers, I feel like real lawyers can eat up at the Atlanta structure because them people don't be doing what they supposed to be doing down there. I think they be trying to get a money grab and just keep it moving. That Atlanta law system look bad, and y'all look like y'all failing. The DA, the judge, that first judge that was on Young Thug case was a buffoon. Real talk.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.